Hello everybody, it's Mark, the blinking Bowlerhat farmer who's as crazy as a cucumber today. How you doing, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, everybody out there? I just wanted to say hello and to tell you about the absolutely great day we had yesterday at the farm. We did a kind of an open day here to talk about new styles of agriculture and how we as growers can produce more fruit and veg to feed the nation, and how that would look. And sort of 60 people came to view, and about 10 of us helping, so about 70 of us looking at all the options and possibilities, and it was mind-blowing. And what came out of it for me was just how amazing it was that 70 people there wanted to be part of a community. They wanted to be part of something special, something that is going to change the way food's produced, as far as I'm concerned. Now, growers, producers, all get in their own little routines of how they're going to do things. And, you know, we've been looking at everything here on our side of the farm, looking at the biodiversity of things, the sustainability of things, and actually trying to understand how we fit in with the way the world's changing. Because obviously, you know, you can see pretty lines in the sky most of the time now, and that's only progressively getting worse. How do we adapt to that? How do we make sure the soil's got more goodness? Because when we soil tested our soil, only 5% life in the field. That's atrocious, you know. So we're working really hard to get the goodness back in the ground, get the chemicals gone, what have been used in the past, to start looking at how we really put the goodness back into our food and start talking about some wholesome food. And I had the pleasure yesterday, and it's always a pleasure to work with different people, but did interviews yesterday with Chris Brooks from LSB Productions. Check his channel out because he put a video up with us on today. And my friend and legendary Richard Vobes. And we were talking among ourselves yesterday about just what is food. And I'm not talking about the stuff you go in the supermarket and buy. I'm not talking about, you know, that kind of, oh, it's in a packet, it must be food because it's, you know, in a pretty packaging and it gets advertised on the TV. I'm talking about real food. Stuff what you make from raw. Now, I do not claim to be a cook. I can barely hold my own, I have to say. But my partner Gloria is an absolutely superb cook. And she cooks everything from scratch. And I'm blessed at that. And so we're looking at a lot of the things we do now, you know, in our own lives, and looking at just what we need to produce to make sure that we can have the things to eat we want. So good quality fruit and veg with no chemicals put on it. Eggs, you know, where can we get a local cheese supplier? You know, we travel out to a farm where they do raw milk and cheese and so forth. We know we've got a good baker on side. We all have to start looking at, I believe, what we eat, where we get it from. And I'm not just talking about oh, well, you know, shop at a farm shop instead of a supermarket. Talking about the actual goodness of the food, the wholesomeness of the food. You know, when you've had a bowl full of food and you go, oh, I'm so full, I'm so full. But 10 minutes later, you're hungry again. You know, to the you know, you go, you have an absolute brilliant meal. Because you're full of fizzy and salt. It tastes like soap. And you end up that you're in this position that you are just stuffed for about half an hour. Then you start going, because that has gone down, the air's gone out of you, and, you know, and just the nastiness is starting, the chemicals are starting to kick in. I don't want that trash in my body, and I know a lot more people don't. And over the forthcoming weeks, I'm looking at launching something very special. And this is going to be about the wholesome food side. And start looking at just what it is that we actually take from food and where we could get that food. and we're going to start putting together a website, and that is under, obviously, the bowlerhatfarmer.com, and we've started putting that together now, and on that website we're going to have a link where you can go and start looking to purchase proper food, wholesome food, because that's what we want, that's what we need. There's also going to be a bit on there about the CIC. So we've set this CIC up, the Community Interest Foundation, and what the idea of that is that as we raise funds, we'll be able to fund other people's projects. So like the project we've got here on the farm, we'll be able to support and help other people with their projects. So if they want to put a polytunnel up, for instance, or, you know, need money for seeds, whatever that might be, we could help and assist with that. And we'll be fundraising to do that. So we'll put on events and we'll have fundraising opportunities for people to get involved in that. We'll also potentially be looking for some trustees. So if you're in the position that you'd be interested in helping support that, let me know. The other thing which is going to be on there is where I'm going to be out doing talks. Richard Vobes and I and other people are going to be doing a lot of talks in the coming year. We're going on tour. We're taking this message out to the people and coming to a town near you. So we're in Southampton before Christmas. We're in Derbyshire at the Great Resist before Christmas. So many bookings the other side of the new year. It's astounding. So guys, thanks for still being here. Thanks for caring enough about yourself to take note of what we talk about especially with the food and farming side, because, you know, let's be realistic. What is going to happen in the next few months is absolutely scary